And then that way everybody can hear the same story. You know, there's no interpretation needed through the story, and it'll be the same to everyone. And that's what I want. And I want it, and I just want um, to see if I can put some kind of clarity into this situation, because it's very unclear, and it's unclear to me too. So we're all in that together. So first thing I wanted to say is that this is nobody's fault, and this is not happening for any other reason besides me. Nobody did anything to me. Nobody hurt me. Nobody made this happen. This was supposed to happen. This has been a long time coming. When I started this, it was really just to release my past and to find out about my anger. How can I control my anger? What was going on with me after I lost the money, after I lost my job, after I had a little breakdown. True. I just had to figure out what was going on with me, because I did not know what was going on. And I just, I just needed to find out. So, I mean, I've been on this spiritual quest, if you want to call it that, since 20 years, since I got clean. 20 years. I've been waiting for this spiritual awakening, and I've done a lot of soul searching, and I've spent a lot of time in different churches, spiritual classes, retreats, seminars, classes, counseling, over 20 years. And what I found is that when I went to Iceland and I did some meditations there, I did a lot of meditations there, I was really expecting just a bolt of lightning to come down and to give me the answers. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it worked for me anyway. So what happened was it gave me some insights as to why I have the personality in which I have, why I am the way I am. And that started when I went into meditation, and I had talked to you guys about breaking those generational curses that are on our family. In order for me to do that generational curse breaking, I had to break some stuff in me. And I had to release some stuff in me, and I had to see some stuff in me, and I had to see the patterns of behavior in me, so that way I could see the patterns in our family. That way I would know the generational curse which needed to be broken, so that way I could do that. And I did. And I did see those patterns in me. And the reason that I didn't talk to anybody when I was going through all of that stuff was because it brought up a lot of anger in me. It brought a lot of feelings up in me that I didn't know how to deal with. And it showed me a lot of patterns of behavior that I had in this life from my childhood, from the way our parents raised us. And they raised us the way that they were raised. And that created the pattern. That creates the generational curse. The generational curse is that for Mom, it was no love. There was no unconditional love in Mom's life. There wasn't. Everything had a condition to it. And Daddy's generational curse was lack. And also Grandma's lack. not good enough, unworthy enough, serving of others before themselves, giving and not being able to follow your dreams. There's also a dark energy that was attached to our family that has been there for generations upon generations on our lineage. So what I also learned is that we are consciousness that's come down to earth to have a life experience. In our life, everything was created at once. Everything is everything, and nothing is nothing. So everything is part of the one. So as consciousness, we come down to earth. An essence of the divine. We come down to earth to have a life experience, to our soul that has been here through generations. So our soul that has had multiple incarnations has a span that in that generation and in those incarnations, we'll say, has built up karma and has built up patterns and behaviors that you carry with you into this earth, into this incarnation. Okay, so every person who comes down here, every soul that is in a body that comes here has a life mission. Okay, so we come here having a life mission. Then once we get into this body, we don't remember who we are anymore. So our first mission is to remember who we are. And who are we? We are consciousness that is sent down here to have a life experience, to create something or have an experience that your personal soul wants to do. So something that you have failed to do in your previous lives, you come here into this life to try to overcome that, face that, and then step into what you truly are. So as I step into my true life path, okay, because now I've done all the hard work. I've lived this life. I did what my soul came here to do. My soul picked a really shitty path, okay? They picked a hard path, and they picked me to do it in. So my soul wanted to go through that because in my past lives, I have not done those things, and I did not overcome them as a soul. But as Cyprienne, I came here to overcome those things and then step into my next life, into my next mission. And my next mission is to know who I am, which I am consciousness, an essence of the divine that's come here to raise Earth up into its next dimension. I don't know how that's going to happen. But I do know that everything I've done so far has got me to the place where I am today. So I can step into the person that I'm always supposed to be without those belief systems and those patterns of behavior that I've carried with me for the last 58 years. Because they're not true and they don't belong to me. And I've lived with them and I've conquered them. And I don't believe them anymore. So I am worthy to have abundance in my life. I am worthy to have true, unconditional love. And I am worthy to have my own personal life. So what does that mean? It means that I love my family more than anything. I do. I love taking care of Mom. And I love being part of her life every day. I love it. I've never said I didn't. I love being with Mom. I've been with her for a long time, and I like her company. But I also have to take care of me. And that's where the problem lies, is because I have to be able to take care of me too. And I have to put time in there for me. Because what I've done is I've always put other people first. Because I didn't feel worthy. And I always felt like I had to prove myself worthy. Give to be worthy. Do to be worthy. Be so I could be loved. Be something else to be loved. Now that is nothing that anybody put on me. That is not something that anybody said to me. Those are belief systems that I've had when I came here. I've never felt worthy. I've never felt like I belonged. And I never felt good enough to be loved. That is why I've struggled so much. And that is not because of Mom or Dad, and that's not because of my sisters or my brothers. That is because of a belief system that I had in myself. And that's okay. It got me here. And it made me a survivor. And I've survived a lot of shit. And I will survive this. But I'm not living in survival mode anymore. I'm living in abundance. And I'm living in flow. I don't know if this explains everything. But I do know that everything that we have been told up to now has been a lie about who we are, how we got here, and what our future holds. And that was complete manipulation on authority figures' part. They don't want us to know who we are, because when we know who we are is when we have our power. We are consciousness come to earth to live an experience on earth that our soul desired to have. We have a life mission. I don't know what your life mission is. I don't know what your personal truth is. But I'm working on my personal truth. So, one thing I discovered is that in life, there's lots of different words that mean different things, that mean the same thing, sorry. Different words, meditation and prayer, same thing. Being still and mindful, pretty much the same thing. Being still and being in meditation, kind of the same thing. But being quiet with yourself and going inward is the only way that you really find out what the problem is and where your truth can tell you how to find your freedom. Because I'm gonna let you know that my life is different. It might not look different. It looks like it's in a shitter. The black cloud is lifted off of me. I feel hope. I feel free. I feel free. Free of all that crap that I've been carrying for all these years. And that's because I've done a lot of inner healing. And I know you guys probably don't know what that means. It is extremely painful. Extremely painful. And worth every second. Because I am not a prisoner of my past any longer. And I am so happy about that. Know this. I have lived a very hard life of my own choosing. Every choice was mine. I'm sorry where I've hurt you.